So today my plan was to get the 8.8 that I got from an Explorer from an F100 and clean it up and cut off the brackets that are on there and then take the bed off my truck and get that ready to strip down and maybe even strip it down depending on if I had enough time. And that was my plan, but unfortunately there's a problem with the lowrider, so we're gonna work on that today. Last week I made a video for the lowrider where we changed the knockoffs to gold ones, and then she had a really bad oil leak in the back that we fixed, and I made a video on all this, but the audio on my microphone didn't turn on and it just didn't turn out good, so I didn't post it. Maybe I'll post it someday, but I doubt it. So we got those knockoffs changed, we fixed your fuel leak, and we put some headlights in the front that actually work well. And then the power steering gear seals are bad and it's leaking power steering fluid, and so I ordered those and we're gonna switch those. And then right as I was about to start working on my truck, she got in it to go to the grocery store, and it's got a whole lot of coolant leak overnight. So we kind of tried to look at it. I didn't see anything. Everything looks dry except for the very bottom of the radiator. So what we did is we pulled it up on some boards and we're gonna crawl up in there, figure it out and get that fixed. This lowrider is a lot of work. It's an old car. Another thing I had to fix on it yesterday was the front right ride height sensor wasn't working. So I looked at it and the linkage arm that goes from the A-arm to the servo was gone. And I think that's because the top bolt threaded out and then it fell over and just broke off because the bottom ball on the linkage was still on the A-arm. So I fixed that. I put a screw on there through one side, and then I got a lock nut on the other side just so that that bitch doesn't come out. And then that's where it goes down to. And I don't think that design is very good. I don't know. I don't like who put it on there like that. So I'm going to change it, and I'm going to mount it to this bar instead, because right now it's not hitting there, but when you go air out, it hits this bar and starts bending this linkage. And you can see they already replaced the plastic arm on the servo with an aluminum one, probably because it kept breaking, because they have it in a horrible spot. But I'm gonna fix that eventually, not today. Today we're going after a coolant leak. Since she loves this car and she's totally willing to do all the work, so what we're gonna do is get her to fix it. We're gonna figure out what's wrong and then she's gonna do most of the work. Hopefully this isn't a big deal today. Hopefully it's just some loose line or cap or something rather than the whole radiator, because I don't wanna change a freaking radiator today. You know what I mean? I just want to work on my truck.
We are going to pressure test the cooling system because the coolant is leaking, and so we got to figure out where it's coming from. Can't quite tell just visually, so we got this little handy dandy tool. I know.
You got to pump for a while. It's a big system. It's pressurizing. All right, keep pumping. Will I get a shot of your ass getting down there?
Oh yeah, it's definitely dripping out. I can see it coming out, and I think it's coming from that little valve.
You think it's coming from the little... I don't know if you can see it or not, but right down there is a drain plug. And it's just a little plastic thing with an O-ring. And the core support is bent up and pressing against that O-ring. So our suspicion is that that core support pushing against that O-ring is causing it to leak, because we can't really figure out where else it's coming from. So we need to take that plug out and that O-ring out and replace them, and then bend that core support away from it so that won't happen again in the future. I don't know if the core support is bent from something happening or if that's just the way it is, but we're just gonna bend it real quick and see how it goes.
Not how I wanted to be on my back today. It looks like a little dinosaur just like attacking something like.
All right, that's fixed. So we couldn't find a new plug. So what I did is I took a file and cleaned up the mating surface on here, and the O-ring looked all right. So we're just gonna reuse it, and I gooped it up with some O-ring lube. And we need to look at the mating surface on the radiator and decide if and decide if that needs a little cleaning up too, but I can't see it.
Alfie.
So hold that.
Okay. Ew, it's goopy. You think this is what they use like in the sewer for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Glowing green liquid. Pump up the car, pump it up.
The core support was stabbing into the O-ring. So we bent the core support, cleaned up the plug, lubed up the O-ring, and I think we're good.
Cool.
What do you think?
I mean, if it doesn't look like it's dripping.
It's dripping, but that's just the residual shit.
Yeah, it's just the old shit dripping out, yeah. I can see clearly now, the coolant is fresh.
All right, I need to clean up this Ford Explorer 8.8 rear end to put in my truck. It's full of a bunch of grime from over the years, and we got to cut off these brackets. So I'm gonna pressure wash it and then get my grinding wheel with my wire brush on there and just clean it up. And hopefully I can get the brake rotors on there and then the wheels on there so I'm able to push it around. And that's what I'm gonna do right now.
See this thing?
Yep. Beautiful. Want to do more?
No.
You don't want to do more?
No, I got other shit to do.
That's it for today. I wish I could have got farther, but unfortunately, we had to do some lowrider maintenance and got that taken care of, and then got this 8.8 cut down. All I got to do now is grind these down, and then the rear end is ready to be modified, and that's it for today. Do me and yourself a favor and like this video and subscribe to my channel, because you're going to want to see this truck when it's done. I am so excited for it to be done, and I just need to just keep plugging away and getting it done. So like it, subscribe it, come back for more, and you won't regret the end result of this badass truck. Peace out.